Hey everyone, how are you? Thanks for joining me. I am Jen with Jen's Creative Stampers, coming to you live every Sunday at 7 Eastern. I go live on YouTube and on Facebook. So it's so great to have you here. Looks like there's several people online, which is always great to see you. Let me know who's joining me. Just say hello and let me know. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I'm just going to give it a minute here, let it pop into other people's feeds, and then we'll get going. Grab something to drink. Have my coffee, my little latte. Always makes a crazy day better, seems like anyway. So I hope you guys are doing well. We have an amazing special coming up this week, and I'm super excited about it. I've never seen this kind of a special, so I'm going to explain it to you because it's been really confusing for a lot of us. And I don't want somebody ordering something and then not realizing what they're doing in the cart, how it all kind of sorts itself out. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to, again, before I do that, let me tell you, I have my retreat that I just did. I actually have one more left. So I'm going to do a quick video after this and actually show it to you because it's in my shipping room with the other kits that are all going out. And so I just wanted to offer one last one. It's amazing. And everything's wrapped and ready to go. So anyway, I will do a live after this to go ahead and explain it, show it to you, and see who wants it. Okay, so here we go. We have a special that's starting on Tuesday, June 3rd. It's for the annual catalog items and all the online exclusives. It's for the suites. It's a buy one, get one half off on all suites and suite products. That means anything that's inside of a suite. Hi Cassie, good to see you. Happy Sunday. Any items that are inside of a suite, the ribbon, the gems, the DSP, the bundles. So you're going to get, you can even get the full suite as well. But what I wanted to explain to you is actually how it is calculated in your cart. It's very important. So again, online exclusives are going to be coming out the beginning. Hi Debbie, good to see you. Online exclusives are coming out, and this actually applies to those as well. But here's what you need to know, right? Again, I was on the leaderboard and there were a lot of questions, and so I just wrote this out early this morning. So purchases from the suites, purchase them in sets of 2, 4, 6, etc. and even sets, okay? Note that the lowest price of the two is the half off item. So if you have, I have a couple of examples. If you buy 2 suites, hi Lynn, good to see you. Hey Elizabeth, good to see you. So if you have 2 suites that you're buying, hi Sharon, great to see you. 2 suites, one of those is half off, okay? If you're getting 2 suite bundles, just the stamps and the dies, or the stamps and the punch, then you're going to get the lower at 50% off of those bundles. Now the 10% that you get off on the bundles, that still applies. So you're actually kind of getting like 60% off of that one item. So that's really amazing. Another example is you buy 2 suite designer series paper packs, you get one half off. All right. It's looking at the entire cart. So if you keep adding stuff into your cart, things from different suites, you will get half off of the lowest priced item. For example, if you buy 1 suite and a bundle, you're only going to get 50% off of the bundle. You're going to pay full price for the suite. If you buy a suite and a designer series paper, your designer series paper is 50% off. okay? So just know that it's calculated in sets of 2, 4, 6, all even numbers. If you're buying 2 suites or 2 bundles, put that in your cart and actually buy. That's what I'm going to do actually is get the suites in an order. If I want additional bundles, I'm going to get sets of 2 or sets of 4, right? Because then you get the 2 lowest. If you get 4 bundles, the 2 lowest bundles are going to be half off. All right, you can do that in the same cart. If you're mixing ribbons and gems and designer series paper and suites and bundles and all the things, you're going to want to put those in individual carts and process those orders one by one. If you have questions, let me know. I would be happy to go ahead and help you guys get your orders together so you get the best discount possible. The shopping link is actually in the description here below. And again, that goes from June the 3rd through the 30th. All right, super important. And any questions, like I said, let me know. But hopefully this helps. Hopefully you can take a snapshot of that, and that way it kind of helps you to organize your cart and write it out on paper if you need to. Okay, but again, it's on online exclusives, including the brand new ones that are coming out and the annual catalog. So even my team, if you guys are wondering kind of how this is going to work, we can chat about it offline. Okay. All right. Now, tonight's class, I'm super excited about it. It is a bundle. It is the Coneflower Celebrations bundle. It's not a suite, so it wouldn't be considered as part of the special, but this is already 10% off in the catalog. It's an amazing bundle. I love this so very much. It is a photopolymer stamp set, and the dies are incredible. You're going to see why, and all of the samples I have to show you. So we're going to play with that today. We're also going to play with more messages. Have you guys played with this? Have you gotten it yet? It's an amazing bundle. It's 10% off as a bundle. And we're going to go ahead and start doing this first, actually. So this is a big stamp, okay? And it requires, let's see, where's that humongous one that I have? Here it is. It's so big. It looks like it's massive. It's humongous. It's bigger than my hand. It is the, let me look on the side, F like Frank block. Okay, so it's the F block. Did you guys know that all of our blocks are labeled on the side with a little circle? One side is the letter. The other side says Stampin' Up. Okay. Hey, Melissa. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use this first. And this is where kind of the chamois started coming into play when we have like these coveralls. I call them coveralls. Covers the whole entire front of your card. So it makes it really easy to clean it. We are going to use, going my little turnstile here of all my inks and my blends and all that. We're going to use the brand new Secret C. And we are going to get some sentiments here. Now this is a really juicy ink pad. If you guys just got your ink colors, yours are juicy too, I'm sure. Now you can do one of two ways. You can actually put your paper on top of here, rub it down. Sometimes I don't get that great of an image, so I'm actually just going to take it, manhandle this big thing here, and I'm going to lay it down on the paper and give it some pressure. Okay, we can put this away. Now this Secret C is one of my favorite ink colors. It's kind of like a grayish Night of Navy. It's really pretty. It's a nice neutral actually, and so that's why I wanted to do this. So let me pull that off. Not too shabby. We'll see how everything comes out when we do the next step. So again, the way to clean it is just to take your chamois and just kind of go over it. All right. Hopefully I got that clean enough. Let's stick it over here. Take that off the block. That's the only time we're going to use it. So this is really amazing to go ahead and actually have like a creative play date. You can actually run those through, and then you are going to die cut all of those together. So that makes it super simple. Now you can see I kind of ran off the page a little bit. We can put that up too. But I think it's going to turn out okay, at least for most of them. Let me line it up. I highly, highly recommend this bundle. You can grab it, like I said, at 10% off, and it's one die, and you get like, I don't know, 15 sentiments or something. It's a lot. So you die cut this, and look at all your sentiments that you get. Isn't that awesome? Talk about efficient. I love the efficiency of this. So we're going to actually just plunk those down. And then we can start crafting. Now you can do these in 4 or 5 different colors, whatever suits your fancy based on what you're going to be creating, okay? I'll stick that back there as well. So that's going to get us started, okay? All right, now, so what I didn't explain too is that my class tonight is $45 if you want everything shipped to you. I die cut everything. I'll give you the little gems. We're doing all kinds of cool stuff tonight. This is kind of a new way that I am moving forward with my classes because I feel like it's going to give you more value. You can also get the class for free with a $60 order using the link in the description. But again, I just wanted to give options to people. So, you know, trying the products before you buy it, that's a good value. You know, for new things, I like to try it before I really indulge in the price, you know, and get the whole pack. So, this will do that for you. So here's our first card. And again, I absolutely love this bundle. So you can see all of the detail here, and it also flips up. You can go ahead and stamp something on the inside. There's one of our dies that we just die cut. And this also uses the Spring Corners dies, I think it's called. Yeah, Spring Corners dies. Now, I will go ahead and die cut this piece for you. I know that this bundle, or these dies, I believe, are on back order, or they're non-orderable right now. So you can go on my website and actually click to be notified when it comes back in stock, okay? But I'll go ahead and die cut this for you. That's part of this kit. I'm preparing everything for you for the 45. So here we go, and we will go ahead and do this. This uses our two-tone cardstock. I'll show you how to actually make it more detailed, which I love that. The fine detail is what matters to me. I love that part of this bundle. So let's go ahead and do this first. So you're going to die cut. This is our two-tone paper. Can you see the light and the dark? Can you see the difference? And so I have this right here. This is already die cut. Let's get our blocks out. And this one will take the next smaller down, which is the E, like echo. And I'm going to use I think I used, let me see, did I use the Darling Duckling? I think I did. This is Daffodil Delight, and I think I used the Darling Duckling on this just to give it some contrast. Okay, so we're just going to open that up. Get the ink out of the way. And we're going to stick my head in the way here. And I'm going to go down and stamp that. It's not 100% perfect, but isn't that pretty? We can go ahead and do the other side as well. I love these new in colors. That's what this Darling Duckling is, another one of the in colors. You can get the colors all except for the cloud cover, which I recommend you getting a pack of the ink spots and the re-inker, because there was something, now I have the big pad, but they were only selling it to demonstrators because there was a chemical reaction with the felt pad and the ink. And it's a little bit gray, whereas this is slightly bluer. So just to know, I can fix that if you want to get a an ink spot. I can help you to do that. It's very easy to just use the ink spot, and that way you have the exact right color. Now mine is not, there's really nothing wrong with it. Some of them were okay, some of them were not. And just how Stampin' Up! Is, they said if it's not 100%, we're not selling it to customers. So I respect that, and I love that about this company. So, okay, let me find my bone folder. So you're going to stamp that in your Darling Duckling. And then I'm going to be giving you the two-tone Daffodil Delight paper, and you're going to die cut these out. And you're just going to, I took a nail file, literally. It's just some cheapo nail file. And took it. Now the benefit of this product is that the core of the paper is white. Whereas all of our cardstock, the core is the same color all the way through. And I just totally flipped that out the wrong way. So literally I'm just holding it and just pulling down on that file, and it's kind of distressing, which gives it a really cool look. You may or may not be able to see it up much in the screen. Hopefully on all my pictures you can see it though. And I just kind of like to flip them up and kind of give it that natural kind of look, which is really cool. Alright, so I think that's good. And then we're going to, I think I'm just going to glue this down. So all of the dies, you'll have to die cut yourself. You get the bundle, create it yourself, pull it out. I'll give you all the paper, all the products, all of that stuff to do it with. This is pecan pie. Let me get my dimensionals here. But I just love how this class turned out, and I made some really amazing cards and sent them out to some friends after Disney, and they all loved them as well. So super fun. Now you could actually take, and what I did on this one is I took my blends and I went in and did a little bit more detail. I'm not going to do that for the live. Can you see there? And it shines through really nice, so it's real pretty. But I don't need to do that for the live, just so you know. Okay, so what we're going to do, like I said, I will go ahead and die cut this for you. That will be done, and let me get my mini boss here for you to be able to see it. I think it's always fun to see it in process, right? Okay. I have a little workspace. Do you guys know how that, like, you feel like you got enough workspace and then you actually pull everything on the table and you're like, whoa, no I don't. Okay, so let's see. This is embossing. That's the wrong one. Here we go. This is the platform I need. It's the bottom. I think that'll fit. Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this up a little bit away from that corner edge so I can get my little dimensional in there. And I'm just going to run it through. Okay. And this is who knew this was a coneflower? So pretty. I love it. Okay. So there we go on that one. And actually, I love this set. This is really, really pretty. And the stamp set that goes with it is awesome too. So you can't go wrong if you're getting that also. Okay, so for this one, I am literally I'm also using the Sips and Celebratory Sips or whatever it's called. So you're going to get that designer paper as well. So just know that's where the paper came from. All right, and I'm just going to lay this down on here. That was our mess up side. No one will ever know that. So we'll do it here. And then we're going to grab our Oh Happy Day stamp right there. We're just going to glue that down flat as well. Cards come together really fast, which is great. We've got some really amazing cards and completely different designs tonight. And then I took the Florals vellum and went ahead and popped that up. I love the vellum, and I just thought that the yellow with my daffodil coneflower was so pretty. So again, doing these classes like this is enabling me to kind of use different products as well and let you try different things before you may buy the whole suite, for instance. So hopefully you love that. There is a link to purchase the class tonight. It goes through the 8th, which is next Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern. And I know many of you will love that. So that you can add on this bundle if you'd like, and I save you the shipping and tax. I pay for that for you, okay, as part of your class special. All right, so this is Daffodil Delight, regular cardstock cut, 4.5 by 11. And I'm just going to glue this down. It doesn't really matter where I put the glue on this vellum because it's mostly covered up, right, by that piece of Celebratory Sips. So we're going to put that down flat. Isn't that gorgeous? Love how that came together. Okay. Now, in this bundle, you'll see this piece, this die right here, this little like circles. It actually cuts out like this, and you actually get some of these awesome little, I'm using them as embellishments. So I'm just going to use those here and take your pick tool and add those down. And how easy is that, right? So you'll get a piece of the foil, the gold foil, and you'll be able to die cut those also. And there is card number 1. So fun, right? All right, so card number 1 is down, and let's keep on going here. We've got a fun fold for this one. It's Your Day. And it opens like this and like this. This uses some of that Celebratory Sips paper. So I'll put this up to the top, maybe off to the side. And we will, looks like I need to, all right, got all this here. Thought I had my, all my pieces cut for my, well, I think I do up here. So I went ahead and used some of the same paper in the daffodil, the two-tone. And so I ran that through 3 times, 1 on the light side and twice on the dark side up. Okay. I'm going to get my stamp off paper. And we are going to take those 3 layers and we're going to take a blending brush with our Daffodil Delight. Okay. And I'm going to add some texture with this coloring here. I'm going a little bit heavy. I want the bottom one, the bottom layer, the darkest. And then this one's going to be a little bit lighter. And then the top layer is my light layer here. Still going to give it a little bit of ink. I think it makes it very realistic looking. It's a very, very fun bundle, you guys. Okay. And then to give it a little bit more extra kind of color, I'm going to do, believe it or not, Calypso Coral on that bottom layer. And I'm going to take my other blending brush. I'm going to go at it very lightly. Move it off to the side here. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to do this one too, just on the tips. You make it however you would like. Okay? So there we have that. And then all you do, so I'm going to lay my darkest one down first. That's my bottom layer. Lay my next one up here, and I'm going to give this a little snip. A little scissors. Okay. Snip that because I'm going to pull it up just a hair. Alright. Let me go ahead and glue these down as I'm doing it. Pull this up just a little bit so I can see, and it's a little off center there, so I can see the petals on the underneath. Can you see how that shines through? And we'll fluff it at the very end, but really makes it pretty. And then this one, we're going to go a little bit left of that and glue that one down. Okay. So we're able to see all of those beautiful layers. And then see, where did my, thought I had another, here it is, it's off to the side. Okay, so I did another of the cone, the center, it's more like a brown. So I'm just going to pop that part up and lay it down like this, and it covers perfectly. And then literally you can just kind of piece these out. So fun, right? Okay. Really pretty. Okay. So there we've got that. And then we're going to take our strawberry slush. This is one of our brand new colors. And I went ahead and ran this through an embossing folder, which is the plaster. And you will have that done for you as well. And then you will actually go ahead and lay this down on this little card. This is kind of like our focal point here. Kind of goes a little bit backwards from what you think in the normal, right? So make sure you give enough adhesive on that because it's really, it's a 3D. It's very, very, very textured. So we have that, and then a little piece of basic white goes on the inside. So I'll go ahead and adhere that part down. And so do you guys have your shopping list already for the sale? I was hoping to bring a lot of clarity with the little explanation in the beginning. So All right, so there's that. And then before we go any further, I'm going to take my Darling Duckling and I'm going to stamp It's Your Day out of the stamp set. Some really nice sentiments in here. You made my day. It's your day. Thank you. I'm so sorry I missed your special day. Let's extend the celebration. I love that I've known you for so many birthdays, and happy belated birthday. So, very fun. Let me put that one on. There we go. And I went ahead and die cut this already. Gonna move that to the right. Okay. And I'm done with that. But we have this really cool fun fold that I need to score. So I'm just going to score it here twice. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Not cut it. And at 2 1/8. Okay, so when you get your kit. So when you do get your kit, there's no written instructions. Everything will be cut and ready for you, but you'll need to score it. So you'll just re-watch this replay on YouTube, and it lives out there forever. So you don't have to worry about not having access or Facebook cutting you off or any of that. You'll have access forever, which is awesome. I love that I can give you guys a resource, and you can recut and recut and remake it. Super fun. All right, so that's a basic white on the inside. And what I need is a piece of, let me see, where's my instructions? I thought I cut this out already. Probably dropped it. So let's go here by, all right, there we go. Okay. So you're going to take this celebratory sips, right? You're going to actually put it down. I'm using the B side. And I'm going to cut this down a little bit here. There we go. Oops. Let's check that out. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to add this to the one side of the card, just a little bit. Don't forget, you always have those B sides, right? So that makes an awesome card. I'm going to actually put this over a little bit more. Okay. Try and get it in the middle. Anybody else anal about that like I am? Okay, that looks much better to me. Now, I'm going to put that in the middle here and just adhesive this down. Use your Seal Plus, liquid glue, whatever you prefer. And level that in the middle, kind of get that evened up there. And then here, there we go. Okay, so we're going to let that dry for a second. We're going to take our little gold rings that we have here. Have some that are already kind of cut off. And we are going to go underneath there, and we're going to snip this off. Let's see. Snip it right there. Super fun, right? That's really cute. So we're going to add some adhesive here on the underneath side, just a little bead. Let's do it like this. I need to get my silicone mat. That would be the smart way to do it. And I'm going to lay that down right in there. Pick it up. And then we're going to adhesive this down. I think I'm going to pop it up. Sounds like fun. Love using my dimensionals. So we're going to do it on this side, this side. I'm going to use 3. Okay. And I'm going to make sure that those do not go off of this panel here. You don't want it to slide off there and be stuck where you can't open your card. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my pretty Coneflower and I am going to adhesive that down. Give it a minute. Now you can go ahead and take your file and you can take that as well, that top layer, and make it a little bit more distressed if you would like. I'm going to use some of my little dots there, which I think are fun. Cassie, the bundles only in the suites. So anything in the suite is in the sale. It's not just bundles in general. Has to be, it's a suite sale. Let me double check on that. I'm pretty sure. All suites and suite products, yes. Only the suite items. So anything in the suites, which includes the bundles that are in the suites. I know it's confusing. And there's card number 2. Do you guys like that? Look how fun that is. And it opens up and there's where you can do all your message. Okay? So there's card number 2. And then for card number 3, we have a fun card. Not that the others weren't fun so far, but this is really fun. So we have an amazing shaker card. Look at that. And look at the gold. I ended up using gold and the loose silver sequence and the loose gold sequence. So the gold is the new. So I mixed those together and I'll show you how we did it. So we will go ahead and stamp, and this is a gatefold as well, and it's the back is the celebratory sips. It's the Secret C, and it's kind of got like a little detail on it, which I thought the gold and the silver would pop really easily on that. It does. It looks good. So, all right. So here we go. We're going to stamp our butterfly first. Just on some scrap paper. Alright, just whatever you have. And then I took the dies under here, under my scrap paper. Alright. Yep, there's everything I was just missing. Right over here on the side. I knew that would happen. And it did. It's all good. So cap this up and clean this up a minute. We are going to bring in our die cutting machine. Got a piece of basic white. And I am going to pull this down a little bit so that I can get my strips, my dimensional strips in there to create the shaker card. Okay, so you always want to give enough clearance on the 2 sides so that, again, you can fit everything in that you need. Okay, so run that through. Okay, got my window sheet. Going going to pull this out. Now you could, I'm going to do it on this one. You could use an adhesive sheet here and it would actually make all of these little pieces adhesive. Trying to flip and get that out. I didn't do it. I didn't even do it on my first one either, but, and it's fine. Okay. But if you wanted to, you could. You absolutely could. All right, so we're going to take this window sheet and I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive, like I said, to here, kind of in between. Should use that silicone mat, shouldn't I? That way I don't get it on my work surface. I'm just going to go around my coneflower. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of glue. Do you want to make sure your window sheet does not come off? Okay. You may or may not be able to see my glue. It's a tiny, tiny little bit. You can kind of see there. So I'm going to take my window sheet. Do you guys make shaker cards a lot? These window sheets actually, all the lint seems to stick to them. So I'm going to lay this down and I'm going to rub it with some pressure to make sure that all my glue sticks to the window sheet. Okay? That is important. Okay, there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip it back over and we're going to take our strips, and these are little flexible little guys, so I always you want to start when you're putting this on, you want to start kind of at the top. And you want this bottom piece to be one continuous piece, okay? The reason is in case that it ever comes kind of unstuck or whatever. I've never had that happen, but if it ever does, it's not going to fall out here. It's going to come unstuck at one of the two ends, all right? So I'm just going to weave this around. This is an amazing product, and I'm just going right along the edge. Now remember, your sequence or whatever your filler is going to lay at the lowest point. So if you end up and you put your strip way down here, you're never going to see those sequins, okay? So just know that where you're putting it, that's where they're going to ultimately go when they're not being shook up in the air, okay? And I don't want to cover my image, so I'm just kind of weaving it around here, like so. All right, so that's one whole sheet. Cool, right? And then, so I'm going to join this here and I'm going to shove that up in there so it's really tight. And then when I go to cut this off, I want to cut it a little bit longer than what I actually need. Because what I'm going to do is to take my take your pick tool, and I'm actually going to, it's probably a little bit too long still. I'm going to go ahead and take it and shove it in there so that it gets a really good seal, okay? And then I'm going to pull this off. Alright, so now that's all sticky and we've done everything that we need to do. I'm actually going to lay this down here so that it kind of raises it up. Alright. So that part is done. Now, what we're going to do is we can kind of see, I didn't stamp my leaf. We'll get that. You can kind of see where it's going to go, right? So it's going to kind of go right in the middle. So all you do, I'm going to give you some of these sequins to put in your kit. And you're just going to take a pinch or so of them. Yours will come in a little baggie. And you're going to kind of just put them in the middle where your sunflower, or where your coneflower is going to be. Okay. I love these together, by the way. This is like the easiest way to make shaker cards. Super, super simple. All right. So there we have it. And we are just going to center it on our designer paper and stick it all down. You can press down around, get those guys to go down. That one is, there it goes. There you go. Right? Now, what I didn't do before that I should have done, before I stuck it all down, is to stamp the leaf. Right? So, let's take this guy off. All right. So I used garden green. I don't need the full length because I'm just going to have it go right up in there. Make sure that I got it. There we go. Looks like I got some ink right up in there. Okay, we're good to go. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to use a little water brush too. You like that fold? Love that, Debbie. Super easy, right? So take my little water painter. You just squeeze the ends. And get some more water to come out, and then it kind of colors in there for you. It looks really pretty. Right? And then I have already die cut these guys. So I did a little bit different actually. I did the soft sea foam and garden green. So we'll go ahead and glue those down. Just add some glue on those little edges. Again, you can use adhesive sheets if you want. I just didn't use it. Okay. Do as I say, not as I do, right? Anybody ever heard that before? Anybody ever been told that before? Oh yeah. The joys. Okay, let's see here. Where is this going? Like this. Alright, so I'm just layering this up, and this is a really soft kind of card, right? The bling is the best part. So, let's see, where did I keep losing, here they are right up here, my dimensionals. So I'm going to do 2 on here. And I thought it would be really pretty to use a really pretty ribbon that goes with the celebratory sips. Now the celebratory sips is an online exclusive, and it just came out, and it is really pretty. Love it. And then we have our sentiment. We're going to also do in the Darling Duckling to match our card base. And that is You Made My Day. Okay? So, this all out of the way. Put my little strips back up here. I'm going to score my card base. So this one I did not actually do into a gatefold. I just scored it in the middle, not on purpose. So we're going to take this and we are going to stamp "You Made My Day" right down here in the bottom. And that kind of ties the colors all together, I think. But again, that Secret C is treat it as a neutral. It is so pretty. And it really stands out, doesn't it, with that, that gold. Okay, so this one, I'm actually going to pop that baby up on dimensionals since I didn't do the gatefold. You can do the gatefold, do 2 1/8 and 2 1/8, one from each end, right? There we go. And super fun. Okay. So we're going to line that up here. Last thing we need to do is to color our butterfly. I'm going to use the cloud cover. You can get all of our blends. And I'm going to color his little body and the cloud cover. And then I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight. I'm going to use the Darling Duckling Light and the light Lemon Lolly. And kind of go at it from the center. And I'm going to kind of blend all of these. And then I think I even added the light Calypso Coral, if you can believe that. So let me go to the next one. So that was the Lemon Lolly. Now let me go to Light Daffodil Delight. Kind of blend that in. I have to do the dark daffodil on that one. Let's see. I'll blend it. And then the Darling Duckling. You may say, golly, that looks awfully ugly. Wait till we're done. And then I'm going to take this little bit here, just go around the edges with the light Calypso Coral. That's the beauty of these gorgeous blends. I just love them so much. Make sure there's no white showing. And then come back in with the light Lemon Lolly. And I'm literally just going to blend it all together. There we go. So you can fussy cut this, or you can run it through your mini boss using the die. There is a die for the butterfly. It's very easy to cut that out. And then we're going to pop him up. Isn't that pretty? Makes you think of summer. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to add him. We're going to kind of fold his wings up. We're going to put him there so that he can sit on that little leaf. I'm going to do it with a glue dot right there. Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to take the gold ribbon here. It's actually, this thing is called gold striped ribbon. Yeah, super pretty. Matches our gold bling in there in the shaker. You can also go to my website, jenscreativestampers.com. You can see all of my new classes, events, everything I have going on. And can get everything there. There should be an add to cart option as well for this class, so you can just put it right in your cart, which is super simple, right from my website. So that is really nice. And we're going to add this right between those two leaves. Pop that right up. Make it a little bit shorter here. Okay. And there is my card number 3. Fun little shaker, right? There's that one. And again, oh, if you wanted to make it a, I didn't do the inside here. Let's do that. Get a piece of basic white. I'll show you. I took my, the cloud cover that I was telling you about, and let me cut this down to size. Let's do that real quick. You can, like I said, make it a gatefold on the right here. And what I did on this, you can barely see it. Probably can't even see it in the camera. But I took this Coneflower again, and I used the new cloud cover. It's a juicy pad, but took my stamp off paper, stamped off there, give it a huff, right? That right in the middle, you can see that. And then I took my thank you, a real small little thank you, which I love that, in garden green. Right in the top of the Coneflower, stamped thank you. And then I also took the Darling Duckling with this little, there's like a little dots or something. Hi, Myring, thank you. Very sweet. I'm going to stamp off with that as well. Just kind of add some detail, flip it upside down, make it so pretty, right? It's the little details. All right, so then we will put that on the inside. Those new ink pads are super, super tough to close and open. There we go. Okay. All right, so put that right in here. You made my day, and thank you. You guys like that? Here's the gatefold. Here's card number 3. All right, we're moving on. Let me grab this stamp set again. We're going to use the More Messages again, and we are going to create this amazing card. It's your day. Isn't that fun? It's a fun fold, very easy fun fold. You open it up, and there's one of our sentiments that we cut out in the very beginning. Okay, I love, love, love this card. I love the pool party with the Calypso Coral. I think it's just beautiful. And then I tied in the soft sea foam using this white ribbon that we have in our online store. And I used my blends to go ahead and color that in the soft seafoam. So we'll do that together as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to first take our more messages and we are going to put it back on our monstrosity of a block. And let's get that straight. Okay. And it's going to be a little bit more monochromatic, I think, on this one than what I did on the first one. I'm going to take Pool Party on Pool Party. Let me make sure this is clean first. It doesn't look like it's all the way clean. On these lighter ink pads, you want to make sure you get it nice and clean before you go into that ink. That would not be good. All right. I think that's probably fine. And to double check myself, just going to use my stamp off paper. I think we're good. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my arched everyday arches, everyday arch dies. I think that everyday arches, I think that's what they're called. I think they're on back order. And, but again, I'm going to be die cutting everything for you, so you should be good to go. All except for the stamped images. I cannot do the more messages. You will have to have that. Or you can, if you don't have it, you can actually just use anything that you have in your stash, okay? So it could be an embossing folder. It could be some, a background that you create on your own, or you could grab this as well if you want yours to look exactly like mine. So I just think it's really fun, and I really loved using it. So I'm just going to ink it up really well, and I'm going to cover that arch, and here's what you have. Isn't that pretty? So you've got that. I am going to clean this off because I need to use it one more time. So we got that one, and then we're going to grab our Calypso Coral to match our Calypso Coral paper. However, we are going to score it first and cut it. So what we want to do is I have my cutting blade up here and I have my scoring blade down here, okay? So I don't know if you guys have done this, but I have tear tape here to go ahead so I can see my numbers on the ruler of my track. So I'm going to cut down to 2 3/4, move that up, and then score up, okay? Then I'm going to move it over to 2 3/4 here, and I'm going to pull it all the way down to where I stopped and take that off. Very easy, right? Okay. I thought so too. So, it's all about your tools, right? Having the right tools. All right, so here we go again. We are going to take our stamp. I'm going to do it a little bit different this time. Let me clean it really well. This time, I want it to be a little more monochromatic, not so bold in the background as my original was. So I'm going to take it here. And also be careful. You guys see I keep wiping this thing. The edges of this, when I did it earlier, I wasn't paying attention and it literally inked up the whole side and it went onto my paper. So you want to wipe that off. You can even cut that off too. I mean, that's another option. So what I'm going to do is just stamp off, puff it, right? And then I'm going to go down on the inside. There we go. So we got a little bit less intense, which I like that look. And again, I'll show you my original. So you can kind of see the difference there. There's actually a big difference. So here, can you see how bold that is in the background? So you can do it that bold or you can do it light like this, however you prefer. But this will go on the front just like this. So we're going to glue that part down. Okay. And then we're going to even it up. And it ends up being very, very close to the background. Time to celebrate. Hi there, you can kind of see it. And then this will be kind of on the inside. And it's a little bit smaller, so it's going to be hidden automatically, okay? So you won't have to worry about that. So I love these arches so much. So much fun. Okay. Kind of gives us a little background to have almost like a DSP, right? So pretty. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our pieces that I've already blended and done ahead of time. The only thing I did not do, I do need to grab a piece of the Petal Pink. So I'm going to actually need to die cut that. So die cut this in this large, here it is, this one right here that creates the little like folding component. Let me grab that. There we go. The Petal Pink and the Calypso Coral look so amazing together. So we're going to take that and we're going to take the Petal Pink and we're going to stamp it. Don't you guys love this bundle? Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, they are great, aren't they, those arches? Let's see here. Here's where we're going. And if you end up not liking where you stamped it, you could always turn it over and do the other side. Okay? So we got that. And I'm going to use my blends on this as well. Here's my light. Just kind of come down, give it some dimension. This is actually running out of ink. I love this color. This is the brush end. There we go. Some of those ends. And then I'm going to take the dark, draw some of those lines in there, draw a little more detail. You can see I am not being careful, but you don't have to be. It's all going to be beautiful. How pretty? Okay. And then lastly, I'm going to take the light Calypso Coral, and I'm going to very lightly draw some lines here to kind of follow the designer's lead on that. This is all optional. This is just fun, creative, doing something different, right? See how that blends in really well? And then if you wanted to blend it a little bit more, you could take the, because I feel like at the top here is kind of where it's supposed to be darker. All right. Let's add a little bit more here too. And that'll kind of all blend in. Okay, so we got that. Now we're going to fold this. And this one will go here. I think we're just going to use that one. We're going to glue it down flat. I love this card. So kind of set it a little off a little bit, and that way it gives it some of that dimension. You can kind of see all down in there, right? So cool. And then dimensionals, I'm going to grab 2, put them right here. Lay that right over top. And then I'm going to take my Link of Stella. Love this stuff. And I'm also going to add some underneath there on the petal pink. Now where it's sticking out. And then I'm just going to take it and just kind of go over this part too, the little cone. So it dries clear, and then all will be left is the glitter, the glam, which is what we're going after, right? Okay, so we've got that. We're going to let that dry off to the side, and I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to grab my Garden Green one more time, along with my stamp for the stem. I'm going to grab that block. Ink it up real good. Straight down on it. Okay. And then we've got most of what we need now. We're going to adhere our leaves together on this part. You guys are going to have to tell me which one you like the best. I can't wait to see. Also too, if you could help me and share this video out, it'll help the algorithm and help me reach more people. I appreciate all your help and your support. Besides, that costs nothing, right? So thank you for sharing me. If you're interested in this class, it's available 2 ways. I already told you the one. It's $45. There's a link in the description, or you can get this for free with a $60 order before tax and shipping, and I'll mail it to you. Okay, so you got 2 ways, and you can also use the get the new discount, which is coming on June 3rd, right? So you can do that, get it in, you know, all your stuff that way. You can get your bundles, your sweets, and all the things. Just remember, do the different carts and make sure you're pairing even numbers together, right? So that you don't get 50% off of a DSP when you're buying a suite or something like that, right? So just make sure you know exactly what you're putting in your cart. You may have to do multiple orders. It's going to save you in the long run, and I would recommend that. That's what I'm actually going to do. So that is a good idea. And just maximize the specials, right? So orders that are 60 and more actually will get this class for free if you use my link. And I get an email when you use that link. So that is something you don't have to notify me of. So there we go. That's in Calypso Coral. And we are going to lay that out like this. I'm actually going to stick this right underneath here, actually. Let me do that. I should have done it before I glued it down. Stick that right under there. This one, go right above it. Take your pick tool, is super duper handy. And then you're going to take your paper snips and you are going to snip that off even with the arches right here. There you go. Isn't that awesome? Then we're going to do our little dots. We'll do 5 of those because I love them. Just 3, 4, 5, and then we are going to take our ribbon. I told you. I'm going to get the ribbon, and we are going to take our, you always want to grab a stamp off paper, and I've got the, you can use any green that you want that would match this. But the soft sea foam, where's my soft sea foam? I was just looking at it. Here it is. I'm going to use the light one. I think that's what I used earlier. And use the side of the brush tip. I think I used the dark actually. You can use the light or the dark. I've already started with the dark, so I'll just continue with that one. Side of the brush. Yeah, looks better. There we go. And it dries pretty quickly, but you still don't want to put the wet ribbon right on your card because it will turn it to the color of your blending. Okay. And this ribbon takes the ink really easily, really fast. Okay. Do enough to where I know I have enough. I think that's enough. If not, we'll do more. Gonna give it a minute to dry. And then literally I just wrapped it all the way at the top. Like so. make that much smaller. It does get a little bit stiff when you add the ink to it, by the way. It's kind of an interesting thing, but it's very easy to do this ribbon. It's really pretty. Okay, so there we've got that. Trim that off. I'm going to trim this one off. There we go. I need to actually color this a little bit more. Just a T-tab there. All right, so I got that one done. Isn't pretty? All right, that kind of goes right around the front there. And there is card number 4. Do you guys like that? So fun, right? Open it up, it's your day. And let's add happy birthday on the inside. And let me know which one is your favorite. Thank you, Sharon. It's just another way to use our fun products, isn't it? How they all go together. And love the outcome. So there's card number 4. Let me lay them all out here. Let's get all these coneflowers out of the way. There's 4. Here is number 3. Here is number 2. And here is number 1. Which one is your favorite? What do you guys love? 1, 2, 3, or 4? I think number 4 is my favorite. We could always add a bunch of bling, right? Bling always makes it better. They look like Jen cards. You're funny, Cassie. They do. Jen made them. Isn't that so fun? Of course, this makes it all Jen, too. All this bling. The glitz and the glam. I'm going to add that to these. Can't wait to send these out to somebody. Everybody's going to love those. Might as well add it to our little butterfly too. So, let me know in the comments which one you love. 1 or 2? 2. Everybody likes these. Okay, I'm surprised. Isn't that a fun fold? Love that. And those little built-in kind of like gems or whatever. So fun off of the label at the bottom. So thank you so much for watching. If you are local, do not forget we have an amazing event coming up here on June 22nd. It's a Sunday at 1:30. Gonna make 10 cookies. Aren't those gorgeous? And we're making 9 cards. Super excited for that event. It is Brittany and myself. She is a local baker. She is amazing. Her cookies are the best. If you're interested in a kit to go, I can absolutely send it to you. We'll just do the shipping and I can just let you know what that would be. But Brittany packages everything up so beautifully. They go all across the country. So she does a great job. But thank you for joining. I appreciate your support. Thank you for sharing and liking and subscribing. And next Sunday, I'm actually going to be traveling. So I will see you all in 2 weeks. And I may have some little mouse ears on next weekend. So who knows? Watch my feed and hope you guys have an amazing week. Get the sale. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to help. All right.